Now, what you have before you is a view of the Zohar Kodesh Menukad. It's vocalized. It's called the Matuk Midrash. And we're going to be over here. We're learning Parshas Behalaschah. So let's come out. Let's take a look at what it is. Now, we said, like in the last year, and I said this, I want to repeat it. Everybody that agrees, all the great Mekubalim agree. The study of the Zohar will bring the Mashiach. How is it possible? Because this studying of the Zohar will teaches us the pathways of connection between ourselves and our salvation. That is in the infinity of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. So let's come over here and let's read a little bit of the Zohar. It's on page Tov Mem base, and to start with, I'm just going to read the Zohar. So I'm going to translate the Zohar, and for those of you who are not really good at Aramaic, you could get an idea. But here, the Zohar is full of poetry. It's a very poetic treatise. So let's see how it goes. So it says like this: Rebbe Elazar, Rebbe Yosef, and Rebbe Yitzchak. These three rabbis, Chava Ozli, Beorcha, they were traveling along the road. Pago Be'inun Turi Cardo. So he calls them the Cardo. I know there's a famous place in Israel, which is like built by the Romans, which is called the Cardo. He says these are the mountains of the Cardo. What's Cardo? It's another word for Ararat. Out in the Har Ararat, the Mount of Ararat. Adahava Osla Zakov Eina Rebbe Elazar. So as they were going along, Rebbe Elazar lifted up his eyes. And he saw the very high mountains. Now, I've been in that region before myself many years ago, like 50 years ago. I don't know, something like that. These are tremendously high mountains that rise up by a plane. And he said that when you're in the midst of them, apparently they're very frightening. So it was very chashukam. They were very dark. When you're in between those mountains, there's very light gets through. But it became very frightened. I'm Rabbi Elazar, the Inin Chafri, as Rabbi Elazar said to his friends, Ilu Abba Hava Chacham. If my father would have been here, meaning Rebbe Shimon, Lo Hava the Hilna, we wouldn't have anything to be afraid of. Then he thought. Then he said, but there's just three of us. Immediately the rise of Benono, and then there are words of Torah between us. Dino hocho lo ishtaka. So then, here, lo ishtaka will not be found. In other words, we'll be saved. Pasuk Rebbe Elazar. So Rebbe Elazar began, and he spoke like this: V'tanach hateva b'chodesh Shvi, and the ark came to rest. Let me see if we got with this. Let me see if I got this right. V'tanach hateva b'chodesh Shvi, on the seventh month it came to rest. So that's part of the pasuk. Where did it come to rest? Al Hare Ararat, on the mountains of Ararat. Kama Habibin Midoraisa, how precious are the words of the Torah. The Bekol Mila is rosin in line, because in every single word there are very deep secrets. Raisa Kula Yiloi Ikri, the whole Torah, in fact, is called up above, or panemius. Eloah also means inside Ikri. Panemi, it came first, going deeper and deeper into the non-physical. So we learn this in regard to the 13 different midas of Rachamim, Hashem, Kel, Racham, V'chanim, all of that, starting with Kel. Called Dovishuchoya B'chlal V'yatzim in the Klal Olamad. So this is one of the 13 principles of Torah, is that exegesis. One of which is that something which is related in a general way, an over-encompassing way, and then something comes out of this general category, comes to teach us something. So this is the rule. He says, though not to teach about itself, does it come? In other words, some kind of words are here. They don't belong to the general idea as far as we can see. They're not coming to teach about themselves. But everything really goes back to the general category, which is the category of Torah. The Horaisa, the Ihi Klalud Ilah, the Torah encompasses encompasser of everything. Afal Gav, the Nafek, Binah, Chad, Sipar, Ba'alma. And even though, let's say we'll take a story, the Torah story has The Torah has many stories. It's not coming to teach about the Torah, the story itself. But really to show us about different kinds of internal ideas, secrets that are very, very high. But it's not coming to tell the story just for its own sake. But this is to come and teach us something about the whole idea, some secret in the Torah that it wants to teach. Because the story that we're talking about that's coming to Torah, or tells us different action that has to be done, and even though that it's not specifically telling you about Torah and mitzvahs, it's not telling you what mitzvahs it is, it's not a commandment, it's a story. It's not just for its own sake that this story about the ark coming to rest on this mountain called Ararat. He says it's not just for that. There's something deeper to tell us. But really, all of this is coming to tell you about a rule in the Torah, some general idea that is incorporated in the Torah. It all came out for this reason. Let's read a little bit more. Just reading and the simple Aramaic of Rebbe Shimon. It's like this, and it's written, and the Teva came to rest in the 7th month, B'Shiva also Yom the Chodesh on the 17th day of the month, where Al Hare Ararat. Now this certainly is a pasuk that comes out from the Torah Nafik, but it comes out just like it's a story. What? My ikvas lon shari bahaya o bahai. What's the difference it makes to us if it comes down to rest at this mountain or that mountain? Because it's going to wind up in one place anyway. But this is really coming to tell us about the general category of the Torah itself. The Torah as a lesson to teach you. Happy is the portion of the Jewish people that is given to them a Raisi law, an upper Torah, a Panemius Torah, a Torah that goes way, way inside, way, way up. A Raisi the Pshut, a Torah of truth. So the person that says that a particular story, say this one, that it came to rest in this mountain, is just a story about some fact. So it's only coming to show us about this particular story. Let that person's soul fly away. Because if that's the case, then it's not a Panimis Torah. It's not a Torah that has secrets to teach us. And so it's not a Torah or Raisa the Kshut, the Torah of truth. But the truth is it is a Torah. A Kedisha law. Kedisha means that it has special things about it, hidden things about it. Yihi or Raisa the Kshut. That's the true Torah. So it says, Tochazi. Melech Vasav Adam, come and see a flesh and blood king. Lav Yikol Delehu the Ishtoim Mildehedyot. It's not for his own glory that he's saying different words that are common language to people and understand. Certainly if he writes something down, he's not just doing it, as they say in Spanish, por gusto. He's not doing it for nothing. So if you think like this, that the Holy King, the Holy One, blessed be He, he didn't have holy things to write, and to make a Torah out of it. But what it is that the Kodesh Baruch Hu gathers together all of the different words that are common words. Could go milin to Esav. So like when Esav talks, he says something. Well, we need to care about what Esav says. Milin the Hagar, Milin the Lavan, Yaakov, or when Lavan and Yaakov were talking together. So was it just a story? Milin the Asbon, the Ason, the words of the donkey. Milin the Bilim, that's Bilim's donkey. Milan the Balak are the words of the Balak said Milan the Zimri are the words of Zimri. So he takes these. The Kodesh Baruch Hu takes all of these words, all of these stories. All of them he gathers them. He made the Torah out of them. So that's the truth. So why is it called Torah Samis? Torah Hashem to Mima, it says Torah Hashem is absolutely pure. Eidus Hashem to Emana. Bekudah Hashem Yesharim, the statutes of Hashem are straight. Mitzvahs Hashem bara, that in mitzvahs Hashem created. Yiras Hashem tahora, that the fear of Hashem is tahor. Mishpatei Hashem emes, the judgments of Hashem are true. All of these different phrases, the Pluksiv Hadnechamadim, and they're more cherished. The Zohar b'Pazra, being gold, and the highest form of gold, bro. Elon Inan Mili Doraisa. But actually, the truth is that these are words that are incorporated in the Torah, and there's a reason. Elavadai Oraisa Kadisha Eloi. But the truth is that the Torah represents a Kedusha which is beyond our real ability to be able to see it in this world. It's a Raisa that showed Torah Hashem Tamima. It's a true Torah. It's a Torah that's pure. We call Mila Asya and every single word in the Torah is there for the purpose of showing us words or ideas which come from a panimistic point that could be coming from secrets. The Haku Mila Duhu Sipra Lav La'achzol Galme Bavad Ka'asya. It's not just to show something about itself does it come out, but it's coming out to tell us about this general idea, what the Torah wants to teach us, and this had been explained. So now he goes like this, and let's see if we can go through this as well. He said, Tol Chazi, come and see. The Teva came to rest. Hai Kol Kach Kol Shechein Achrona, so this pasuk, and certainly any other ones. He says, so he wants to say not just this pasuk, but other ones have to do with the time of the year when there's a great amount of dinim that are hanging over the world. But dinim sharian, they're there. And the Kodesh Baruch Hu sits, that is, their Anpin sits on his throne of judgment. The maiden alma, excuse me, to judge the world. Now let's look at the throne that he sits on. In the throne, there were many things, different elements that are brought into it, all of our deeds, all of the things that are happening in the world. And many different halachos, many different avenues of being able to judge are all hidden in this place. The malka, these are all stashed in the purse of the king. Kukul Sefarim, the Pesachim Taman is Geniza, so all of the different stories that we see in the Torah are all hidden in that place, that is, in this throne. So all of these different words about Esav and about Lavan and about Bilam and the donkey, all of these little stories that are on the side, they're all inside of this throne. So he said, begin kachlo ishnashem mila min malka. So this is the reason why nothing is ever, ishnashem means forgotten, from the king, that is Jaranpin. V'hai kursya lo istakan v'lo sharya ela v'chodesh shvi. Now the time of the year, the year is a year of cycles. So the cycle only becomes complete in the 7th month. That's the month of Tishrei. Dihu Yom Din, which is the day of Rosh Hashanah, which is the day of Din. Yom of the Kol B'nai Alma is Paktun Bey. It's the day that every human being is examined. Kuhu Avrim Kamei Haku Korsia, and all of us, all of our neshamos, proceed to pass before this throne. So this is the reason why we say that it came to rest. That is the Teva. The Teva is another word he says for Malchus on that 7th day. B'chodesh Hashvi, 7 is the number of Malchus. The Yichud Din of the Alm is the day of Din. Now the word Araret, so he's about to talk a little bit about that. It's very close to the word Aror, which means cursed. Al Hare Araret Elon Marecha de Dinim. This is referring to the actual accusers of Din. Ma'arechem the Yevova, they are the masters of what they call wailing and screaming out. But they're all actually emissaries. And they come before Kodesh Baruch Hu. So this is the Ararat. This is the concept of Ararat, the Aurora, which is because of cursing or possibly making accusation. The common Marid of Trisim. So these are angels of Din, which have shields. Is Yom are all awakened on that day. And they're all gathered together underneath that particular place that is under the throne for the purpose of judging the world. So as this is going on, and this is what the Zohar says, the Jewish people are praying at that time. And they're praying and they're requesting and they're begging. They're supplicating. It's supplication before him. The Tekoyim b'shofar, and they blow on the shofar. The Kodesh Baruch Hu, he has pity for that. And Machafech Din the Rachman, he changed the dinim, the punishment, he changes to mercy. And all of the upper world, all of the lower worlds open and say like this, Ashrei Ha'am Yodea Sarua, happy is the people who know how to blow, because in this blowing is a way that brings Rahmanas. And this we really redeem on that day, the sock of the Yada Ikara the Mila, that a person that's blowing, that is the person that blows the shofar, he has to understand the secrets of what's going on here. And that in this Sarua, as he's saying that he has a kavanah, and everything he does is with the chochmasa of the Torah. And this is written like this, Ashrei Am Yodea Sarua. That's the reason why it said, because the Trua itself brings Rahmanas. So he says, happy is the person who knows how to blow. Lokasiv Tokea Trua. It doesn't say that he blows a Trua. He says Yodea Trua. He knows the secrets. And that's what it's stated. This is Baruch Fleischman. This has been the Tikkun Elevator Kolo. This is the Zohar. Learn Zohar every day.